What's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. That pretty much is my view on whether we should officially refer to our country as Bharat or India. You're, of course, free to disagree with me. We live in a democratic setup. The quote, by the way, is from Romeo and Juliet. And it has ignited a Mahabharat. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Imagine a love story igniting a hate story. Ladies and gentlemen, fact is that both our constitution and our passport carry both names, Bharat and India. Article 1 of the constitution says, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. That's the constitution. Now, if you have your passport anywhere near you, just look closely at it. Again, it says Republic of India and Bharat Ganrajya. That's our passport. And if you don't have your passport near you, let me just put that picture of a passport, Indian passport, for you on your screens. So, what's the fuss about, you may ask? Let me start from where it began. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh woke up this morning and tweeted that entire controversy. He claimed that the invite sent out for a G20 dinner by the President's house was sent on behalf of the President of Bharat. He was right. Let's put out that tweet. He was right because BJP ministers then soon started tweeting the invite and referring to India as Bharat in their interviews. Ramesh and the rest of the opposition saw this as a conspiracy to divert attention from the government's failures and undermine the opposition alliance that calls itself India. Sure enough, a war of words started and the renaming row blew up. Only, there is no renaming involved. It's just that the government wants to use Bharat instead of India. Maybe for political reasons, maybe to discard India's colonial baggage. After all, India is the name that the British gave us. Though it is derived from the name of a river in India, Indus, and it is very much an Indian river. Bharat is a name we gave ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, in politics, sometimes positioning is everything. It's Bharatiya Janata Party after all, and it's Indian National Congress after all. The united opposition calls itself India. So the row rages on. In fact, there is some talk via unnamed sources, and I don't know whether you can trust these unnamed sources or not, that a resolution may be brought in the special session of Parliament to emphasize the primacy of Bharat over India. The government, of course, isn't saying anything officially on any such move, but is happy to see the pot boil. Listen in.
मैं तो यही कहता है कि भारत होगा या इंडिया होगा, हमारे देश की जो टैक्स पेयर है आम लोग तय करे, सिर्फ मोदी नहीं, आम लोग तय करे कि ये शुरुआत है. इसलिए आर्टिकल 1 को बदलने की कवायद शुरू हो चुकी है. भारत माता की जय कौन नहीं कहते? ये कोई बीजेपी पार्टी के स्लोगन तो नहीं है. भारत माता हम सब का है. जनगण मन अधिनायक किसने गाया था? भारत भाग्य विधाता किसने गाया था? रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर ने. कम से कम वो तो आरएसएस के आदमी नहीं थे.
इंग्रेजीते बोले इंडिया, इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, हिंदीते बोले भारत का संविधान. ভারত তো আমরাও বলি, মনে নেই? ভারত আমার, ভারতবর্ষ স্বদেশ আমার স্বপ্ন গো. কিন্তু নতুন করে কিছু করার নেই. কিন্তু ইন্ডিয়ার নামটা নামে সারা বিশ্ব চেনে. হঠাৎ এমন কি হলো আজকে দেশের নামটাও চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাবে?
भारत हमारी परिचय है, इसको लेके हम गर्वित हैं. हम कहते हैं गर्व से कहो हम भारतीय है. तो भारत के नाम को राष्ट्रपति जी ने प्रायोरिटी में ले आया. देश उनके इसके लिए बहुत खुश होगा, ये मेरा पूरा विश्वास है. देश में ये सारे हम जो कहते हैं कि हमको दासत्व की मानसिकता से बाहर आना है, कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट से बाहर आना है, ये उसके लिए सबसे बड़ा स्टेटमेंट है.
हमें नहीं पता था कि भाजपा वाले इतने कमजोर लोग हैं, इतनी जल्दी परेशान होकर. अभी तो चंद हफ्ते हुए हैं इंडिया नाम के इस गठबंधन को बने हुए, और आप खिलवाड़ करना आपने शुरू कर दिया. इनविटेशन भेजे जा रहे हैं रिपब्लिक ऑफ इंडिया की जगह रिपब्लिक ऑफ भारत। साहब आर्टिकल 1 में बड़ा क्लियर पोजीशन है, इंडिया दैट इज भारत। और अगर हमारे हमसे डर करके, इस गठबंधन से डर करके, तो उसकी टैगलाइन पढ़ लीजिएगा। नीचे इंडिया के नीचे टैगलाइन है, जुड़ेगा भारत जीतेगा इंडिया। क्या क्या ले लोगे, इतनी परेशानी।
ऐसा क्यों किया जा रहा है? ऐसा कहा जा रहा है इसलिए किया जा रहा है क्योंकि इंडिया नाम का कई सारी पार्टियों का एक अलायंस बना है जिसका नाम इंडिया है। तो अगर किसी पार्टियों का अलायंस इंडिया बन जाता है तो वो देश का नाम बदल देंगे। देश तो 140 करोड़ लोगों का है, किसी एक पार्टी का देश थोड़ी है। कल मान लीजिए इस इंडिया अलायंस ने अपना नाम बदल के भारत रख लिया, तो फिर भारत भी बदल देंगे। फिर क्या भारत का नाम बीजेपी रखेंगे?
We've never seen an invitation from the President of Bharat. We've always seen invitations going out in the name of President of India or President of the Prime Minister of India. So why is this sudden change? That is the question which is in the minds of many and obviously the media also. So what is the intention behind that? Only recently the RSS chief has also said that the name has to be changed from India to Bharat. So in the background of this, when something like this happens, it's not just happening because, I mean, of course the name is Bharat is in the constitution, but we've never used it.
जो भारत नाम है ये हजारों साल से सला हुआ है, इसीलिए भारत को कोई नया नाम देने का जरूरत नहीं है। हमारा ये देश भारत था, भारत है और भारत रहेगा। दुकानें खोलता है, दुकान बंद भी हो जाता है। वो दुकान खुला है, दुकान बंद भी हो जाएगा। लेकिन जो भारत है, भारत संद्र और शुरू जितना आपको लगता है ओल्ड है, जितना पुराना है, भारत भी इतना पुराना है। और भारत भी जब तक सान और सुरूज रहेगा, भारत भी रहेगा।
Everyone, just about everyone has an opinion about whether India should be given primacy or Bharat should be given primacy. Is there a name change in the offing? So far, no. It'll be wrong to say that the government of India is trying to rename this country. But let me try and put that question to Basuri Swaraj, who is the secretary of the Delhi BJP, joining us on the broadcast. Ikram Sandhu is spokesperson of the Congress party. Ashutosh is a senior journalist. And Mr. Sridhar Reddy is a senior leader of the BRS. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I think it's only fitting that we start with Basuri Swaraj. Basuri Swaraj, help me understand and help our viewers please understand, since you're representing the BJP, is there any attempt on the part of the government of India to rename our country?
There is absolutely no attempt on part of the government to rename the country. The Article 1 of the Indian Constitution itself says, India, that is Bharat. Bharat is the name of this great nation. And I don't understand this controversy. I want to ask you, is there an agenda which was set up by the Ghamandia Alliance during their Mumbai meeting that they must deride everything which is part of our tradition, our heritage, our culture? Just 2 days ago, one of the alliance partners, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, gave a hate speech where he actually asked for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma. Not a single member of the Ghamandia Alliance, including the Janayudharu Pandit Shri Rahul Gandhi, spoke against that hate speech. I want to ask you, today the veterans of Congress party, Shri Jairam Ramesh, objected to the Honorable President, saying President of Bharat on the invite. Mr. Shashi Tharoor also objected. I really want to ask you, why? What is the issue? I mean, the G20 Summit is being held at Bharat Mandapam. It is being organized by Bharat Sarkar. The dinner is being thrown by Mahamahim Rashtrapati of Bharat. Those who are doing the Bharat Jodo Yatra should have no objection to this. Also, Shreya, please try and understand. Bharat is part of our very fabric. The Rig Ved, the Mahabharat, even the Vishnu Puran actually addresses this land as Bharat. You know, you must have conducted pujas yourself. When you do the Sankalpam, the first thing that you say is Jambu Dvipe Bharat Khande. So we draw our identity from the word Bharat. And you're absolutely right. The Indian passport as well says Bharat Ganarajya as well as Republic of India. There should be no controversy. If Mahamahim Rashtrapati is writing or inviting people as President of Bharat, that should not be, this controversy is unfathomable to me.
But Basuri, here's the thing. For the last 77 years, every time an invite has gone out from the Rashtrapati Bhavan, it has been from the President of India. When it goes out on the eve of the G20 from the President of Bharat, obviously there is going to be a controversy. And it's interesting that you're accusing the Congress party and the opposition of orchestrating this controversy and not the BJP itself. Ikram Sandhu, would you in any case want to come in here?
Good evening, Shreya ji, and a good evening to all the other panelists and our viewers. Now, Bansuri ji started about, the great traditions of Hinduism and Sanatan Dharam. So I'll just start from there. Do you know, Bansuri ji, our gods have hundreds of names. Lord Shiva is known as Mahakal. Lord Shiva is known as Gauri Shankar. He is known as Bholenath. Now, if you get it that one country, one nation, one pole, and now one name, so are you going to outlaw that also? That Lord Shiva cannot be called Mahakal? That Lord Shiva cannot be called Gauri Shankar? That Lord Shiva cannot be called Bholenath? That Durga Mata, we in North call her Ma Sherawali, we cannot call her Ma Sherawali? We respect our nation. We respect our nation as India. We love our nation as India, as Bharat, as Hind, as Hindustan. And anybody who comes from a Fauji background understands. Every time an army man salutes, with the salutes, he says Jai Hind. Now, are you going to change that also? Make it no, you can't say Jai Hind, you'll have to say Jai Bharat. This is such a small issue that they're coming up with. There are multiple names that our gods have. And India is such a vast civilization. Nobody says that there's just one way of living and there's just one name that you can live with. If our gods can be consecrated and loved and worshipped in hundreds and hundreds of names, why can't India have 3 or 4 names by which we know it, which is the Republic of India, Bharat,
Basuri?
Hindustan, Hind. Like Mahatma Gandhi always said,
Basuri,
love
respond
your
to that.
nation like you
That's
love your God.
that's a perfectly
There is no
valid,
controversy.
logical argument. Perfectly valid, logical argument. What is the problem with India? For 78 minute. For 77 years, just a minute.
Somebody which was given to us by the Britishers, and it is okay. It might have been, though the Britishers did not. It was on Indus River that India came up, but that's a completely different, anthropological detail we can get into. But who made India in 1947 when the Britishers left India? We were a country which was facing a famine in the 40s. What did India do? We made the Indian Institute of Technology. We made the Indian Institute of Management. We made the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. They gave us the brain that today we can send a launcher to the moon. Today, 30% of the scientists who are in NASA are Indians from IITs. And you want to just cut away all that legacy? We made India. The Britishers did not make India. Britishers gave us India, which was emancipated by them. They looted our country. In 75 years, we made what India is today. And just because Bharatiya Janata Party wants to score some brownie points, it's a propaganda thing, Like come up with something which will, we will denigrate a foreign name. So India is a foreign name, and we are getting Bharat, which is an Indian name.
I have heard you out, Mr. Ikram Sandhu. I've heard you, Mr. Ikram Sandhu. Let Bansuri respond to that. Arey, ruk jaiye na. Let Bansuri respond to that. Bansuri, the point is simple. The argument that Mr. Sandhu is making is absolutely logical. My argument is, if in the Constitution of India, if in Article 1, both India and Bharat can coexist, why can India and Bharat not coexist on the lips and the hearts of this nation? इसमें बात का बवंडर बनाने की जरूरत क्या है? What is in a name, I asked you.
I want to ask Mr. Sandhu, where is the proposal to change it? Because this entire controversy has been concocted by the leaders of the Congress party. There is no resolution, there is no ordinance, there is nothing. Please tell me, if the article says India, that is Bharat, both India and Bharat are the names of this great nation, then the controversy of the president saying President of Bharat, the controversy has been completely created by Congress leaders. I want to ask Mr. Sandhu, you gave the whole, your eloquence actually belies logic. You want to call Bholenath, Shiv Shankar, Mahakal, that's absolutely fine. Similarly, why are you being so prescriptive that only it should be President of India? आजादी का अमृत काल है. यदि महामहिम राष्ट्रपति आमंत्रण देना चाहते हैं और वो देना कह रही है और वो कह रही है राष्ट्रपति ऑफ भारत, then what is the problem? The controversy has been completely concocted by your leaders.
Okay, Sridhar Reddy, you're a senior leader of the BRS. At 6 o'clock, we had gone to people of this country, citizens of this country across. We had citizens from Bangalore, we had citizens from Bombay, from Delhi as well, and Chennai as well, actually. And we asked them whether it matters, and 60% of them said it actually doesn't matter. Now, if India or Bharat, whatever you call a country, doesn't matter to its citizens because they love the country as much in any case, whatever politicians decide to call it, why are politicians splitting their hair? Here is the BJP spokesperson who is very clearly saying, where is there an attempt to rename the country? This is a controversy that has been concocted by the opposition because they have nothing better to do.
Shreya, as any other common man, citizen of this country says, we should not have any problem if somebody calls our country as India or Bharat. In Telugu, when you ask somebody which is your country's name, they say Bharat Desham. We call it as Telugu language and all that. So it's not the question of Bharat or India. Correct. It is the BJP government behavior that brings in the controversy. Why now? So suddenly Dharmendra Pradhan says that colonial mindset will go away. Only by naming Republic of President of Bharat in the invitation, colonial mindset will go away. Why now? Past 9 years, you don't have that agenda. Why? The issue is BJP can go to any level to use any of the issues, whether it links to tradition or culture or legacy of the country, for their political gains. These are all diversionary tactics and petty gimmicks for the political gains. I firmly believe on that. Actually, the President of India, the oath takes, execute the, as a President of India only. He will not take as President of Bharat. Now, why suddenly in the invite? And even in the United Nations or any other countries, we are known as India. Now, will you suggest the heads of state who are coming to India to participate in the G20 also, so please, sir, call our name country as Bharat? So what is this hypocrisy all about? Equally, all of us love this country as BJP leaders are. Every citizen of this country. Now, just by changing the name on an invitation does not change everything. That BJP leaders should know. And you bring in tradition, you try to teach us culture, you try to say so many things, only to cover up your activity. Why there should be an ambiguity? You call India or Bharat? Why suddenly after 9 years? Now the Prime Minister of India goes, we say Prime Minister of India. Did ever the Prime Minister of this country said in any other forum in the past 9 years that I am Prime Minister of the Bharat? What is this hypocrisy all about? They are trying to shift the narrative, divert the people from many other larger issues this country is facing. The reason why suddenly a special session of parliament will come, then UCC will come, then one nation, one election will come. Now the invitation will call it as Bharat. Nobody is against. This is where they will try to show the opposition as villains. Look, now we are trying to be very patriotic. We love this country. Look, opposition is not doing that. So this is what the BJP want. Stop these petty gimmicks, right? These gimmicks are not going to work out. Address the bigger issues that people are facing.
So here's what I find.
Employment, XYZ. This is not going to address the issues of the country.
Here's what I find very interesting. We have Bansuri Swaraj, who's a responsible spokesperson of the BJP, very clearly coming on the show and saying, Ashutosh, you're joining us as well. Ashutosh, Bansuri, being a responsible BJP spokesperson, is saying very clearly, who's changing the name of the country? ये फालतू की controversy क्यों खड़ी कर रखी है? But what is interesting is that we have heard from some ministers, some big ministers in the government of India, and they have done, Ashutosh, absolutely nothing to douse the fire. We have heard from Dharmendra Pradhan, we have heard from Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, and we have heard from Himanta Biswa as well. ये जानबूझ की बदमाशी है, as far as as far as I see it.
नहीं, मैं इसको बदमाशी बिल्कुल नहीं कह सकता, क्योंकि ये भारत के राष्ट्रपति से जुड़ा हुआ मसला है. But I completely agree with you when you say Basuri Swaraj is a very responsible spokesperson. But if she has not done the homework, then I can't blame her. She's saying India and Bharat. Now, after hearing Giriraj Singh, Sushil Modi, Dharmendra Pradhan, and Pushkar Singh Dhami, all of them, two of them are cabinet ministers. One is a chief minister, and one is a deputy chief minister. Was a deputy chief minister. For them, India reflects गुलामी. ये गुलामी की प्रतीक है. अगर गुलामी की प्रतीक है, तो उसका मतलब ये कि संविधान में नहीं रह सकते ना फिर. So either the Basuri does not know what she's speaking, or she is trying to deflect the whole debate from one point to another point. Let's not get into this. She's a spokesperson of the BJP, so obviously she'll defend the party, but she is not doing any good service to the party itself, because Dharmendra Pradhan is on a different tangent, Giriraj Singh on a different tangent. वो कह रहे हैं गुलामी की निशानियों को मिटा देना चाहिए, यानी इंडिया को मिटा देना चाहिए. As simple. The point number 2. I have no problem if the Bharatiya Janata Party, led by Narendra Modi, wants to change the name of the country. No problem. If he has got the mandate. We live in a democracy. If the majority of the people of the country, if they want to do certain things, if they want to change certain things, who am I and who are you to object to that? I can object, but if I am in a minority, then obviously the majority opinion will prevail. But is it the way to do it? That's a fundamental question we should ask to ourselves. Are we living in some country where the constitution do not exist? This country cannot survive if just because if you are bypassing the constitution, if you are bypassing the parliament, if you are bypassing the basic norms of the society, this country will not exist. This country will become a banana republic, because whenever one day a leader has got the majority in the parliament, will get up and say, I am going to change the name. I will call for a special session of the parliament, but will not tell the nation that what is the purpose of the special session of the parliament. That's the most fundamental issue. The democracy survives on the rule of law. Democracy survives because it has to act according to the constitution. There is a process. If you are not following the process, that raises the fundamental question that this country, this government led by BJP does not respect the constitution of the country, does not respect the parliament of the country, and that is why they are taking decisions which is through bypassing the parliament. You are talking about the parliament, the name of the president.
But Ashutosh, where is the government of India saying that we are changing the name of the country? I want to ask you this. I understand why you are so charged, but where is the government of India saying we are changing the name of this country?
That's why. Then why the Giriraj Singh is saying? Giriraj Singh is not an ordinary leader; he's a cabinet minister. गुलामी की निशानियों को मिटा देना चाहिए. Either he is being so frivolous in his statement. Dharmendra Pradhan is what he's saying. It is a colonial mindset. What do you mean? These are coming from the cabinet ministers. Either they are not responsible cabinet ministers, or they do not know what they're saying, or they have been dictated to say only these words. That means they are puppets. So issue is very simple. If you're calling India a symbol of colonialism, symbol of slavery, then it should not be there. That means the government is going to change the name. It's that simple. So I am only saying is that government should come clean on this. Don't beat around the bush. Don't bypass parliament. Don't bypass constitution, because the country will collapse if they keep doing like this.
Okay, Basuri, please respond to that. You've heard Ashutosh. He's saying Basuri is saying one thing, and that cabinet ministers in the government of India are singing their own rag. Not confirming, not denying, keeping the pot boiling. And this is irresponsible in a democracy.
You know what is irresponsible, Shreya, is that when the Constitution in Article 1 allows the country to be referred to as either India or Bharat, then when the President of India, who is above politics, when she sends an invite to have this kind of a debate and for the opposition to come with such kind of, literally the attacks are acrid. As far as Ashutosh ji is concerned, whether I am serving my party correctly or not is something for my leadership to decide. All I know is that when Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, when Mr. Giriraj Singh, when he talks about colonial mindset, he's talking about the colonial mindset of the opposition. How can you take objection to the fact that the word India was not used and Bharat was used? When the Constitution mandates that you can use India, that is Bharat. Does the President of India, is she mandated only to say the President of India? That's number one. Number two, the whole aspect of, oh my God, this whole aspect of the whole boy who's crying wolf, they're going to change the name of the country. They're going to change the name of the country. There's no need to change the name of the country. Article 1 says both India and Bharat are the name of the country. There is no paper today, there is no bill, there is no ordinance saying that the government is going to change the name of the country. The question is there an agenda by the opposition to deride and attack every single thing that is rooted in our tradition? I want to ask that.
India is not rooted in our traditions. 77 years building India with sweat and tears and blood of Indians/Bharatis.
Let me just respond to that.
Is that not tradition?
For 77 years, have you not said Bharat Mata Ki Jai? Has Bharat Mata Ki Jai only been a slogan of the Bharatiya Janata Party? No. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who's a leader of the Congress Party,
we have said Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Earlier said that Bharat Mata Ki Jai is said by everybody. Bharat is the Mata, is the nation of everybody, irrespective of political ideology across this panel, correct? Then why the controversy? Why can the president not invite as the president of Bharat?
Basuri, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have said Bharat Mata Ki Jai for the last 77 years. The Indian Army for the last 77 years has said Jai Hind. And for the last 77 years, all of us, every one of us in this panel, including you, has also very proudly said, proud to be Indian.
Of course.
Therefore, why give primacy to Bharat over India is the question. It's as simple as that. You're blaming the opposition for starting the controversy and you're calling it unnecessary. But has the President's House and the current government really started the controversy? When in the last 77 years have you heard of an invite go out from the President's House saying President of Bharat?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Every single invite that comes from the president's, from the Rashtrapati Bhavan, in English says President of India. On the back, it is printed in Hindi and it says Bharat ke Mahamahim, Rashtrapati, Mananiya Rashtrapati. Bharat Sarkar, Government of India is the stickers are across all government vehicles, across all government letterheads. You're asking me why Bharat is being used? I want to ask you as a citizen of this country, not as a member of the BJP. Why not? Why not? Azadi ka Amrit Kal.
Why not use India? That's also the other side of the argument.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Okay, let me, you know, I'm saying I can give you the exact same argument and say, what was the problem in India? Why not India? Right? But Ikram Sandhu, you know, the BJP is also saying, why make this about yourself and the opposition alliance? You're making this about yourself just because you know, we decided not to use the word India and use Bharat instead. It's not because the alliance is called India, so don't make everything about yourself. This is not about you.
Shreyaji, we never did that. They have done it. Tell me, in the last 77 years, has anybody ever denigrated the name India, Bharat or Hind, which today 2 cabinet ministers and 2 CMs have done? They have called our country's name as a symbol of slavery. That is shameful. That is the most shameful thing any CM, any minister, for that matter, even an uneducated citizen can do. You denigrate your own name. India is held in high esteem the world over. And today the ruling party, which says they are the custodian of patriotism in this country, are saying that our very name means slavery. Our very name means that we are obfuscating in front of the Britishers. That is the kind of respect that they have for their own name. And they say, no, we don't mean any harm here. It is the opposition which is doing it. Did we put the words in Mr. Giriraj's mouth? Did we put the words into Hemanta Biswa Sarma's mouth? Did we put the words into Pushkar Singh Dhami's mouth? They said it themselves. It is their thinking, their outlook, which says that no, India is a bad name and Bharat is a good name. We say they are all great names. We are proud to be Indians, like you said. I am an Indian and I'm proud of that. I say Bharat Mata ki Jai and I say Jai Hind. And I say Hindustan ki Kasam. All four names are equally sacred. And there is where I use the analogy of our gods. That is one name of our God less sacred than another name of our God. Because maybe on that BJP might understand, but they don't even understand that. So it is basically shameful coming from the ruling party where showmanship, and show is more important than substance. We have a fire raging in Manipur for 120 days. Nobody wants to talk about that. China has taken over our land. Nobody wants to talk about that. WFI has been suspended by the international body. Our wrestlers will be fighting in the World Championship without the Indian flag. That is not demeaning to Bharat. But this is demeaning. These are the real issues. And what are the issues that they're coming up with? On the first day, it was a special session is coming up, and you will have one nation, one poll. By evening, it became, no, uniform civil code is coming in. Then the next day, it came up that no, it is not that. It is basically the name of the country will now be Bharat. You know, this is like an Ekta Kapoor soap opera. I'm sorry to say a country and parliament doesn't run like that. Tell us what the agenda is. It's not that the soap opera has finished today in the evening and the people have to guess कि अच्छा अगले एपिसोड में महीर मर जाएगा, अगले एपिसोड में बात ठीक हो जाएगी. Is that the way they want to run the country? I'm sorry to say I'm using that kind of analogy. We should know on 18th to 23rd, you have a special session. And the only thing you say is government agenda 18th, government agenda 19th, government agenda 20th, 21st, 22nd. What is this government agenda? The people of this country need to know what it is. It is not showmanship. It is all showboating. It is all just not seeing what the real issues of the country are and just going on a tangent somewhere else. One day it is uniform civil code, next day it is one nation, one poll, third day it is now the country is, the president is inviting somebody, not as the president of India and as the Rashtrapati of Bharat, but as the president of Bharat. Doesn't matter, we have respect for all three names. Can Bansuri sitting here on this panel says that she abhors the kind of
Okay, I believe his video has frozen there. Ikram's video has frozen. But very quickly, Basuri, 20 seconds, I'll let you respond. And then a quick last word from Ashutosh and Mr. Reddy as well.
This controversy has been completely raked up by the Ghamandiya alliance. The constitution mandates in Article 1 itself that India, that is Bharat, if in the Azadi ka Amrit Kal, if the president wants to invite the G20 delegates to a dinner at Bharat Mandapam as the president of Bharat, then that is something that we should all be very, very proud of.
Basuri, Basuri, we are all proud of Bharat. We are all proud of Hindustan. We are all proud of India. It is your ministers, cabinet ministers, who are on record to say that India carries a colonial baggage, completely wiping away the sweat, the tears, and the hard work that have been put in building this country, India-Bharat, in the last 77 years. That's where the problem is. The problem is that the government is not stepping out and saying, we are not renaming anything. They should have done it. Instead, your ministers have simply fanned the fires of this controversy that you are accusing the opposition of starting. Mr. Sridhar Reddy, would you want to come in here? Last 20 seconds before I go to Ashutosh.
I can tell you this is an organized and orchestrated effort to divert the country from many other issues. This is an intentional effort from the Bharatiya Janata Party just before the elections. They wanted these narratives to build now. As I already have told you, every day a new thing will come and people will start talking about it. During the parliament sessions, we only talk about the boycotts or walking outs, and opposition is not given time and all that. They don't want to discuss the main issues. Now you will see all these one national election and all these things will come up. And having done nothing remarkable in the past 9 years, now BJP is, day by day, they are going to release one more things. And there are many things in offing. You can see many more of such things will come up for discussions. They are going to rake up all emotional debates in the country, not exactly the development or welfare issues that they have done in the past 9 years. And we have to see in the next, September 9th and 10th, during those G20 Summit, whether all these ministers or Prime Minister will use India or Bharat. All the states of heads, heads of the states that are going to come to India will talk about Bharat or India. We don't have any problem with India-Bharat. We all, I repeat, we equally love this country, work for this country, all political parties that are, Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, this is hypocrisy. Now, as if they only know the tradition, as if they only know the culture, as if they only bother for this country. And this only by publishing Bharat name on an invitation, will colonial mindset will go away. And Dharmendra Pradhan or anybody else who have, tried speaking this language has to introspect. They are responsible union ministers. When you speak such language, there are ramifications. There are people of this country watching you, understanding you, what kind of set are you. So it is Bharat or India, but the union government must have a clarity. Whether you call this country as Bharat, it is not about within India, right? You will convert, you have communication with United Nations or any other country, and any other delegation that goes out of this country, what they will call you. How from tomorrow, what are you going to write? Will you continue to write Bharat? Is it really from the President of India's office or External Affairs Ministry?
Not just that. Not just that. What will you call India Gate? What will you call the Indian Institute of Management? What will you call the Indian Institute of Technology? What will you call the Indian Institute of Science? What will you call Make in India? What will you call Skill India? What will you call Invest India? Ashutosh, I have exactly 20 seconds left. I wanted to end this.
That's the reason why I said it's
if they change. Right now, as I've said, they are just fanning the fires. They are not saying anything right now. But Ashutosh, I'll give you the last 20 seconds on this show.
Nothing else.
To the people of India who are...
You are being unfair to me.
Okay, go ahead. I won't even ask you a question since you are a former journalist.
If I take Basuri's word seriously, and I'm taking her word seriously, then Dharmendra Pradhan, Giriraj Singh, Sushil Modi and Pushkar Singh Dhami should be sacked immediately. They should be sent to some center where they should be learning how to speak on an issue like this. They are the most responsible leaders I have seen. And I'm not buying the argument that they are saying it. They are saying it because they have been told, they have been asked to say this. Basuri might not have been told about this. This is the same Prime Minister on 12th March 2023. He take a great umbrage when Rahul Gandhi in Cambridge had said something, and the Prime Minister of the country said Rahul insulted India. Rahul insulted India. What happened in the last 3 months? That now their own cabinet ministers are finding the word India ridiculous. This is shameful. Either these ministers should be sacked, or the Prime Minister should come out openly and say they want to change the name. And the process will be constitutional and democratic. You can't just come one day and say that I will change everything. That is making this country laughable and banana republic. I'm sure the country will have some good sense to understand this.
The country understands, and the people of this country understand. That much is very clear to me after I did the 6 o'clock show, asking people from across this country what they make of their controversy. And they've called it unnecessary and they've called it political. We leave it there for the moment. Ashutosh, thank you very much. Mr. Sridhar Reddy, thank you. Good to have you on the show. Ikram Sandhu, thank you. And Basuri Swaraj, thank you very much for this heated and enlightening debate. The people of this country have heard all of you. They'll make up their own minds. They're super smart. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Slipping into a quick break on the show. There's some more news coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.